you've got to remember some prophecies that we made heading into Christmas, where I said that Christmas was not going to be great. I put it in more colourful terms than that, if I remember. And it turns out that on Tuesday we hit a particular landmark.
Let's bring you more on the latest infection numbers and the number of people who've died of coronavirus in the UK in the last 24 hours. Emma Birchley is in the newsroom, has been having a look at the figures for us. Emma.
Yes, and the most shocking thing actually is the number of people who have died. So that figure has been put at 1,610. It's the highest number that we have seen throughout this pandemic in this country, and significantly higher than yesterday, where the figure was 599. A better comparison is actually to look week on week. So if we look at last Tuesday, the figure was 1,243, so an increase of not far off 400 on last week. Also, when we look at the number of people who have tested positive in the past 24 hours, that figure put at 33,355. Now, that's actually down on 37,500 yesterday and 12,000 down on this time last week, which is once again the much more useful comparison, looking week on week. And that has to be a good sign, you would hope, because, of course, if you've got fewer people testing positive, that means fewer people ultimately ending up in hospital and very sadly then losing their lives. We have also the figure of how many people have had their first dose of the vaccination. So that's 4.27 million people, up from 4.06 million people yesterday. Actually, there's a slight slowing down in the rate that they appear to be vaccinating at the moment. We were seeing 300,000 a day. This is more like 200,000. 200,000. But still, you know, this is an enormous task. But I think the headline of these really dreadful figures is that 1,610 people in these latest figures who've lost their lives within 28 days of a positive test.
Yeah, absolutely scary stuff. And they've got figures here. At the moment, there's 38,676 people in hospital right now as we talk. And just before, literally, was it 1,290 deaths today. Unbelievable. And a guy who I know, I won't name and shame, but he's called Paul and lives in Drawson. He's on Facebook. They're going on, I'm dreading this Gates needle that's going to go into me and turn me.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Stupid bastard. I've literally no tolerance for this now. And I'll just say there is a graph that you can easily find online, and it shows where we were at Christmas, and then it shows when we went into lockdown. And as you know, the figures all lag by 2 to 3 weeks, and you can see the other countries in the EU that did not have the little kumbaya Christmas and decided to kill each other for Christmas. They actually just stayed at home, locked down, so that they didn't spread it, phoned the loved ones, told them they loved each other, did a bit of FaceTime and a Zoom meeting here and there, a Zoom call, throughout the day. And they are on a downward trajectory. And we reached on Tuesday the highest level of deaths since this entire saga began. You had 1,600 people dead there. You have got everything is kicking in now from Christmas Day. That one day has now added weeks and weeks and weeks, and more importantly, thousands of dead people that didn't need to die just because you're a bunch of pussies that couldn't do without Christmas Day as you remember it. Well, do you know what? There's now going to be some people who won't be around for next Christmas Day because of you bunch of absolute bellends.
To me, Mike, it's always about who governs it, and to me, Boris Johnson's got blood on his hands.
Of course he has. He got rid of science. He ignored science to chase some mythical dream of a Christmas Day because he felt that politically he would do better if everybody was happy for that week and have the Christmas day and all the rest of it. He didn't, and I'll just say this, you're seeing that figure there, 1,600 dead there, you're seeing all of this. Imagine if we'd have done the 5 days now. Imagine the carnage that we'd be going through now. I suggested that this would be a cauldron of death in January. Well, we're in the middle of the cauldron, and the person who put all the stuff into the pot is Boris Johnson. And talking of Boris Johnson, that mop-headed wanker was caught today leaving his house, and he was pressured on the question of when this lockdown will end.
Are we looking at summer rather than spring?
I think it's too early to say when we'll be able to lift some of the restrictions. We're looking at that February the 15th deadline, as you know, for the JCVI groups 1 to 4, the elderly, the vulnerable groups that we want to vaccinate first. At 15 million people across the UK that we want to have been offered a vaccination slot by the 15th of February. We'll look then at how we're doing. But I think what we're seeing in the ONS data, in the React survey, we're seeing the contagiousness of the new variant that we saw arrive just before Christmas. There's no doubt it does spread very fast indeed. It's not more deadly, but it is much more contagious, and the numbers are very great. So, as we get the vaccination program out there, as we continue to expand, and I think we're up to 4.6 million people today, 5 million jabs, we've got to observe the lockdown, the stay-at-home message, protect each other, protect the NHS. That's absolutely crucial in what is unquestionably going to be a tough few weeks ahead.
Tough because you brought it on. Tough because you brought it on. And there he is smirking all over his face, doing all the usual stuff he does.
I don't understand it. And you know what? What's really quite bizarre is seeing him in a high-vis jacket, because you associate high-vis jacket with somebody who works hard, who does manual labour, who's quite a hard-working person, and it doesn't do him much favours. I mean, it doesn't suit him, does it? Let's just say that. And the other thing, he's not calling it a super strain anymore, is he? Remember that one, that little faux pas that turned us into a plague ship on the edge of Europe where no one wanted to come and visit or send any goods to, and gave us a lovely no-deal Brexit for a week for no reason whatsoever other than that he's stupid. Stupid. Thank you for watching. I'm impressed. You've passed the IQ test and got this far, so let's press that button to do the last thing that helps us. It's got subscribe on it, you can't miss it, and please ring the bell for notifications of future videos.